How often do you ask your customers for testimonials? Or is it one of those things that you know you'd love to do more and you know you'd love to have more testimonials, but it perhaps always feels that little bit icky or a bit needy or desperate to actively ask people for them? I think we all know that testimonials are a really good tool to have in our armoury because they're essentially other people confirming that we're good at what we do. It comes back to the classic, the things that you hear about in sales and what have you, that stories sell and people tell. And when somebody else talks about you and that experience of working with you, it adds a real third-party credibility to what you do and really gives evidence to the fact that you know what you're doing, you're good at what you do, and that it's a good experience to work with you. So there's no question that testimonials are fabulous. There's just that little question about how and when to ask for them. And there are a few little steps that you can think about for this. The very first thing that I would say is think about creating a system for yourself. So when will you ask for a testimonial is probably one of the most important questions, because what tends to happen is if you don't have clarity about when you will ask or how frequently, then you leave it up in the air and then you'll probably talk yourself out of it or forget to do it or not get around to it. Whereas if you have a system that says this is the point in my process where I'll ask every customer for a testimonial, then it will start to become routine, natural and comfortable, and you'll find that you're just getting lots more testimonials as a result. So what you might want to think about is what's the kind of happy point for your customer? Where's the particular moment that they're generally at their most satisfied? Is it after their first meeting with you? Is it when you've completely finished a project? Is it typically about a month later when they've had a chance to show things off or really love the work you've done for them? So really think about when do you think is the happiest point for your customers, because then you can build that into a process. So then you can think about exactly how you will ask. Is that something that you're going to do in a normal call that you've got booked with them? Are you going to drop them a message? Are you going to send them an email? Are you going to give them a call? Think about exactly how you'll do that, and then you can create a template for that so you're not winging it every time and you're not starting afresh every time. So create a template, create a system. One thing that's really, really helpful to do with testimonials is to create a little list of questions or prompts that might really help your customer to understand what kind of things you're looking for from them. Because a lot of the time, people will say that they would love to give you a testimonial, they're really happy to do it, and then they don't get round to it. And often they don't get round to it because they're not quite sure what to say or what kind of things you want them to say. So if you give them some little prompts, so things like, why did you choose to work with me? What was the challenge that you had before we worked together? How did it feel to work with me? What's the situation afterwards? What would you say to somebody else thinking of working with me? Then you can share things like that as a little set of prompts. Make it clear you don't expect them to answer everything, but you're just helping them along the way. You're making the whole thing much easier for them, which is definitely a good thing. And then the other crucial thing to think about is what kind of format or platform that you would really love to receive your testimonials on. So would you love video testimonials that would be fabulous on your website? Is the place that you're most focused on LinkedIn, so you would actually like them as LinkedIn recommendations? Are you looking for Google reviews, Trustpilot? So really think about what's the best format for you. And with that, you need to think about how you're then going to utilise those testimonials. So one of the crucial things to do is that when you're receiving testimonials from your customers is share them far and wide and share them regularly. So make sure that you schedule them into your social media, you refresh them on your website, you might add them into leaflets or brochures or share them at networking events. So there's loads of ways that you can do that. And what lots of people do is they receive a testimonial, they're absolutely blown away by it, they share it once and then completely forget to share it again. But keep sharing all those wonderful stories and that fabulous evidence of how good you are, and that will hopefully attract lots more customers to you. So testimonials are super powerful, but so easy to forget about. So hopefully this has given you a few little prompts to get you thinking more about how to get more testimonials and how to make much more use of them to attract more fabulous clients to you. So I'd love to hear back from you, how this resonates from you. Head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe so you get all these lovely things as early as possible. And of course, please feel free to share this with anybody else you think would benefit.